Google Slides, adding text is really simple as it behaves just like Google Docs with text boxes. So this is going to be my title. So I'm going to call this Lesson Island Escape. And I'll give it a subtitle of How to Leave Home. Now, straight away, you can see that the two text boxes are independent to each other, so I can drag them around and move them, and the formatting is automatically done at different sizes. So because I've got them as different text boxes, I can move them around and change the structure of this if I really want to. So I'll bring that a bit further down. I might want to take this up to the top. Now, that text box is a bit big because it can cope with much bigger letters, so I'll move it up there like that. Again, swipe over what I want to do, and I can go into the font options. I'm going to make that into Comforter, and I might make it a bit bigger. I'm just increasing the size, and again, slight oddity to Google, the text color, it looks a bit like an underline, but it shows the color that's on there, so I can make this into a nice dark blue. And then How to Leave Home, I might want to make this more handwritten, so I'll go for caveat, and I'll just make that a nice red shade, and I might just boost that on a little bit, and I can make it bold as well. All the usual text formatting options are there that you'd see in Google Docs, and if you copy across from Google Docs, you can bring the formatting with you. And if I go onto another slide that's got, this time its layout is it's got a title and a body. So I've got a title there, and I'm putting some text here. I'm going to paste in some text I've already got. So I've got a choice of paste without formatting or paste as it was. So there we go. I've put in some content there. Now this is coming at the source that I took it from. So it's coming at 10.5, which is a bit of a funny size. And it's coming double spaced. So I'm going to drop that to single space lines. I'm going to increase the font size to about 15. I can always click in there and actually type in the exact value I want. And I might decide I want this in a different font. Arial's got no place here, so I'm going to go with, oh my God, Comic Sans for a change. A bit more visible. Again, I can move my text box around, and the orientation behaves within that text box. So if I made the text box quite small, the text wraps to fit in. So straight away you can see that line there, and now all of them have gone onto double lines. If I just make it a little bit bigger, I've got a couple across different lines like that. Notice the writing can go out of the text box if needs be. It'll still be there on the page. If I use this as center aligned, depends whereabouts I put it on the page. So it's alignment within the text box, not within the page, which can be quite useful. If I want to add some more to it, rather than messing with layout, I can just use the text box button. I can't just type on white. I must draw a text box first. So I could put myself a text box there. How is the singer feeling about life on the island? There we go. So I've got myself a question. By default, it's gone Arial. I'll put that into a slightly different font so we can tell that it's not part of the song. I'm going to put that one center aligned as well. Again, I can drag these questions around and move them around if I want to. Other thing I can do is quite useful. I can use copy and paste. So again, many ways to do things. I can go to File, Copy and Paste. I did copy and paste, or just right click, copy. If I paste again with the right click, or Control V, I've got an exact copy of that one that I can drag around. So I've already got the formatting preserved. What do you? So formatting and text box entry is really, really easy. And compared to Google Docs, you've got the ability to have text boxes, and you can drag them and move them around the page as much as you want, adjust the size, adjust the shape, which is something a lot of people with Google Docs do miss. For example, I'm going to make this one central. Now it's gone center of the text box, and I want to bring my text box across, and you can use my little guidelines to make sure it's the same width. There we go, that's looking a little bit more like it. If I ever want to just try something out a bit funky with text or formatting, if I right click on a slide, I always have the option to duplicate slide. So I've created an exact copy of the slide immediately. So if I wanted to do something really radical with the fonts and text on here, I could do, and I'd still have my original there as well. But again, if I want to get rid of that, it's quite easy. I can just click on delete slide. If you highlight and swipe the text and go into format, there are other options in there, but most of them are accessible across the menu along the top. Right-hand side menu, you can bring up format options where we can start to bring in some variations about text fitting, which is deciding what happens when we shrink the text box. We can start to think about drop shadow and reflection, which are more useful for the title, a bit like a word arty style effect, but for slightly more writing. But again, just be very careful, because if you're using presentation software, remember the main priority is that people can see what you're doing. So at the moment, I'm quite happy with that. I've got some text, I've moved it around, and I can format basic text using Google Slides, and it's lovely to have text box back.